Mutisi. This guy is fronting. I've analyzed how he posts. He's fronting Gudawashe Chakwirei, and he is supporting the Emerson a faction. Just like you can't separate Blessed Keza from retired General Chiwenga, equally so, you cannot separate Varakashi from the Gudawashe Chakwirei as Wikanandas, as well as also Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. Equally so, you cannot separate war veterans, retired General Chiwenga, Blessed Keza, and others. Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So, there is an incident that occurs where a Zimbabwean national was killed by a Chinese. ZANU-PF Varakashi, to be precisely, they have twisted that incident to actually criminalize that Zimbabwean who was shot. And they are actually blaming retired General Chiwenga for the statement that he made whilst at the ZITF. Look at the flip-flopping of the Varakashis. Now, Nick Mangwana says the statement that was put out by retired General Chiwenga at the ZITF was the statement given by Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. This Varakashi says, I will read what he has written, putting the statement of Chinese. I will come back with a story. I think I may hint, but come back with a story of the regime of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa defending the Chinese separately. So, this guy writes the following. He says, leaders must stop teaching Zimbabweans that minerals are ours. So this is directed to retired General Chiwenga because he did so. They are afraid to name him, and they have been told not to do so, most probably because they know is someone who you can't play with, especially if you drop his name. So they don't drop the name, but what they speak, you can actually attach a name, as we attach a name, and we bring a meaning to what they are saying. Minerals belongs to the person who mined them. Listen to the perspective of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa faction and Varakashi. All this hostility and criminality we see in mining communities is driven by the mindset that these are our minerals and these people are looting. So he is addressing retired General Chiwenga on his statement saying minerals are for the people of Zimbabwe. So they want to, in an attempt to character assassinate retired General Chiwenga, they want to give an impression that his statement influenced what happened to this community, the killing of a Zimbabwean national. So he goes ahead to say, good leadership, so which means retired General Chiwenga, according to him, is bad leadership, tells communities that from these minerals must be mined, and all of you, good leadership tells communities that from these minerals must be mined. I think it's poor English, but we'll try to get a sense. And all of you benefit from the taxes and royalties that the mining company pay to us. In addition to that, you also get employment, and the country earns some US dollars that we need for import and local transactions. So let me read all this nonsense and finish. This is what we want to hear from leaders, not giving people who are not doing anything mining ownership of minerals. That's a recipe for chaos and disaster. So he is talking about retired General Chiwenga. In terms of the environment, the government has the responsibility to enforce environmental laws. Don't leave it to communities to do so. You create lawlessness. In fact, the government of Zimbabwe should introduce an environmental fund where mining companies deposit money every year. That money would be used to rehabilitate the environment after the mining operations end. In many countries, companies so are justifying environmental degradation. In many countries, companies have this as a tax deduction or a provisional expense. Mining by nature destroys the environment. So they are saying people should accept the destruction of the environment, but safer mining does not destroy the environment. Reckless mining and looting destroys the environment, but safe mining does not destroy the environment. So this Varakashi, you know, the problem with someone who put leak and someone who is paid to speak anything, they just speak anyhow. So they can even lie reckless. This is the guy when we posted that the Home Affairs had extended the ZTP permits. He wrote on his X account and said we were lying. Later on, after a verification, maybe after being told by his bosses, had to backtrack and actually say no, they were right. So these are flip-floppers of not given the script on what to say without even thinking through it. So he goes on to say, mining by nature destroys the environment, but communities should be ensured that at the end of this, so people should wait until the mining process ends for them to talk about hazards that comes with mining. This is the stupidity of highest level. And they are trying to drive this notion that Zimbabweans should not actually have this mentality that they own minerals. They own minerals. These are minerals for the people of Zimbabwe, not Chinese. Something will be done to restore the environment. There is already a lot of anti-Chinese propaganda and animosity. It is important for traditional leaders and MPs and councillors to provide the leadership needed that ensures there is a healthy working relationship between investors and the community. Once a healthy relationship is established in the beginning, it will always be there. Now, I think, let me see another Varakashi saying something. Or is, okay, so there is a lot, they are actually in essence defending the Chinese who killed a Zimbabwean. Another one called Vashona says, a statement on the incident of the attack of China Junde Mining Gold mine in Mutoko, Zimbabwe on October 9, 2025. There is no need to actually read that statement. But what I will do, I'll come on the other side of the live broadcast to speak about the incident, what the police have done so far, police not doing their duty as expected and anticipated, waiting obviously for the script to come from the highest office to say something. And let me check. Yeah. Okay. That's another issue. So, in simple terms, so you can see there is a lot that this guy has been saying, a lot of what people said. It's very important sometimes to go to the comment section because it tackles, someone says, you are wrong here. The community was not fighting to grab mined minerals, but they were fighting for their land. Land belongs to Zimbabweans. Now, and then secondly says, I mean, Kutsai, whatever, it says, which community was fighting for land? Even that, there is need for leadership to be involved. People won't fight if the leadership is not involved from the onset. So he's still defending his nonsense. Someone says, what happened to the community share ownership scheme? It's important that the community gets some returns from the minerals which are found in their areas. It's called access and benefit sharing. The community share ownership scheme was a noble initiative, but sadly it was abused by some and communities got very little in return. I am convinced that if communities see real and tangible benefits coming from the extraction of resources in their areas, all this talk of looting will disappear. It can be done. Someone says, I believe the hostility is being brought by the fact a few of the miners don't adhere to any rule and seem to get preferential treatment. If the government doesn't put a lid on this, it risks becoming an issue that can turn the populace against the government. Someone says, all these mining companies in Zimbabwe have SEZ status, which means no corporate income tax. They are also expropriating the legally foreign currency we have. There is zero benefit to having these guys mining in Zimbabwe. People are tackling him so good and brilliant. Chinese investors are mistreating us and and our environment, more so killing locals. Can that happen in Chino? Someone says, Firearm Act as amended in 2016. Foreign nationals are not permitted to hold firearms permanently. The case has many implications for the police Zimbabwe and even the immigration department, who cleared a foreign national to hold a gun for security purposes. Someone says, royalties are not benefiting model. It's not a win-win situation. The minerals are ours. There is a need to revise the model. Not royalties, but a minimum percentage shareholding by the state. Income from those shares should be used by the government to develop communities. Someone says the mineral wealth belongs to the state and its citizens. Those who want to mine must be licensed to do so in the first place. Miners have obligations like royalties, income taxes, duties, and pay. In addition, they have an obligation not to damage the environment. I think I cannot put it better than what these people. But now I failed to find a linkage between what happened in Mutoko with the statement that was said by retired General Chiwenga. This is deliberate smear campaign done by Varakashi, and Varakashi, we know that they are headed by the office of Mnangagwa, and also this shows that Mnangagwa was not pleased with the statement that was made by retired General Chiwenga in Bulawayo, and his camp, they are worried about that statement of saying minerals have to be actually, those who are mining in Zimbabwe have to do so taking into consideration that those minerals belongs to the people of Zimbabwe. A proper statement, by the way, that's the fact. That is a fact that, China is exploiting Zimbabwe. China is getting a lot of minerals for free. They are getting, this very, very rare mineral, lithium. Lithium is squandered by China on a daily basis. And who benefits? It is Mnangagwa and the Ugandans. And by the way, they are benefiting like fools because China takes a lot, gives them peanuts. But because those peanuts are billions that they can actually look for themselves in their lifetime and finish all the minerals, they don't care about the future generation. Something that retired General Chiwenga underscored, that as much as minerals are mined, people should do it in such an extent that even future generations would be left with something, not to actually destroy income for future generations. And this did not actually sit well with the faction of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. I'll be bringing you details, especially on a separate story about this company, what really transpired, the facts at hand, the questions that a lot of politicians have, especially regarding the Mutoko incident. It's an incident that we should not shy away from. I've been following it, and I think I have got a little bit of facts to talk about it. I will definitely do so. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live,